But let's get onto the telephone lines, and Sylvester Ameo Akole is a security and counter-terrorism analyst. He's joining us on the telephone lines now for some analysis on this. Good evening, sir. We're grateful you could join us tonight.
Good evening, Stephen.
So, intelligence sharing, really, I mean, even if we look at how intelligence is shared within the European Union, it hasn't been easy. How easy will it be for Ecowas countries, member states in the Ecowas, to share intelligence on security?
Good evening, Stephen, and good evening to your viewers. In fact, it will be very difficult in the event of sharing security or sharing intelligence about security as far as terrorism is concerned, because countries consider themselves very autonomous, and the sovereignty of nations is something that nations don't want to shed, or they don't want to compromise on their sovereignty, and for that matter.
Interesting. So if I understand you, what you mean is that if we take, for example, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, it will be very difficult. I mean, we're talking from the European perspective and the African perspectives as well. Countries find it difficult to share intelligence because of autonomy. Is that not an indictment on working together, like regional unity?
Yeah, it is an indictment on working together as far as the regional unity is concerned. But my brother, you can bear with me that the regional integration has not been all that easy. If you talk about the fact that there is going to be a common currency, when did it start? All these years, there have never been any collaboration or any political will to move these things forward. And you can also talk about language barrier. Ghana is surrounded by French-speaking countries, and I don't know, I can't tell, but so a few of us speak French, and so if it comes to intelligence sharing, I don't even know how many of our security personnel who are working on the borders with these countries
speak French.
So even on that level, it is very difficult to share intelligence.
So would you say that from what you're telling us, does it mean perhaps the president was not well advised as to the feasibility of intelligence sharing among member states within the ECOWAS countries?
No, I cannot say that. I cannot say that the president was not well advised. It is a good thing to advise the president to share intelligence because, as it is said, no country is an island, or no man is an island. We cannot just think that we are alone and dissociate ourselves from the others, because our country borders on these other countries, and if we don't collaborate with them, we definitely are going to be in trouble, because it is said in Tree, if I literally translate it, if you find that your friend's beard is on fire, you should,
fetch a bucket of water near yours.
Fetch a bucket of water near yourself, so that if yours catches fire, you'll be able to, help yourself by quenching it. So we are not an island, as I've already said, and we need to collaborate. And the capacity to collaborate is the problem now. We need to build that lingual status, or the interaction that will go on as far as the language is concerned, and also the will to be able to share the intelligence that we have with the other countries.
So, so it means that when these barriers are removed, then it will be a good thing to share intelligence then?
Definitely.
But you do not foresee that in the short term these barriers could be removed?
I don't foresee that in the shortest term. Not at all.
Right. You raised a very...
said, if you take the currency issue, it has taken so many years. It has never been realized.
I was going to say that you raised a very important issue of ECOWAS protocols. I mean, there are protocols on trade, free movement of persons, and all of that. You said that these have not been moved from rhetoric to action. But we still have people crossing the borders and staying within member countries for 90 days and all of that. What do we need to do in order to balance the issue of ensuring safety and also to allow for these protocols to be adhered to?
In fact, Ghana is doing its bit or her bit to foster these protocols to be adhered to. But the other countries, if you take Nigeria, for example, if I don't know if you have ever used a road to Nigeria before.
I've done that once.
If you go past Benin, before you get to Nigeria, you see the number of borders. That I wouldn't even say borders. They are just barriers with bamboo and barrels that are there. But you cannot just lift them and cross. You have to go to see the boss and all that, pay something. The drivers that are applying the road have to go and see each barrier boss to pay something before they are allowed to go. So if one country is doing their bit to foster this unity, others are not cooperating. And as I said from the beginning, they are just holding their sovereignty to their chest.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to take it from them. So it is something very difficult, and there is still, the conversation has to go on and on. And even though it is not easy, there is definitely going to be hope, and there is light at the end of the tunnel, but it's not going to be.
It's not going to be
just
easy.
2 years or 3 years. It has to be.
Let's shift our attention a little bit to our own internal security in our country, in Ghana. Do you think that we're taking security serious? I mean, especially securing public places in the light of what happened in Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso and Mali?
I don't think we are taking security very serious as far as I'm concerned, because of what I have seen. Sometimes you see police people around, very visible, and people are fighting or things are going on, they don't care because nobody has reported to them or made any official report to them. But this doesn't happen elsewhere. The police is there to protect us. The security agencies are there to protect us. And for that matter, even their visibility, or if they are visible, it helps. But if you are visible and something is happening and you close your ears, or you behave as if nothing is happening around you, then you are letting everybody know that their security is in their own hands.
Interesting.
So it is very difficult to tell that the security we have within our borders is something that we can write home about. I don't think we can write.
You don't think so? Now, so really, what do you want to see in Ghana? I mean, for you to be convinced that our security agencies are serious in tackling the threat of terrorism, what do you want to see day to day?
I want to see that all the agencies have the capacity to defend us and to also gather a lot of intelligence, credible intelligence, that they can.
So by capacity, you mean that you want to see more security personnel on our roads and in public places and hotels and beaches? Do you think that we can afford it?
I mean, it is whether we have to afford it. If we cannot, we should look for the money, because security is not, and it's not something that the country can joke with. The contract between the citizen and the government is that the government is supposed to protect the citizen. And for that matter, security is costly. And the government needs to pay more. Even those of us who are security experts, we need to get money to do a lot of research, to be able to gather a lot of intelligence for the government to use to be able to secure our borders or prevent any attack that is supposedly coming towards us.
Right,
so
thanks very much.
Matters cannot be compromised. If the money is huge, it has to be looked for and it has to be used for our security.
Right, thanks very much. We're grateful, Mr. Sylvester Amewu Akule, for that time there. My name is Stephen Enti. You're still watching News at 10.